Thank you, Matt. Thank you, friends and neighbors, for being here, and for the Republican Party putting on this event, and for Judge Johnson for letting us borrow your courtroom. Folks, this is a unique race as a sheriff. I have the utmost respect for Sheriff Authier. We're both law enforcement officers. We both give our lives for each other. But the sheriff is an elected position, and I do believe you are going to have a clear choice in this election. Let's talk about experience, leadership, and a vision. My experience: I am the only candidate in this election who has ever worked as a deputy sheriff in the field answering calls for service. When Marty Robbins sang about the man running out of roses into the Badlands of New Mexico, that's where I was, San Juan County, New Mexico. I was a deputy sheriff there. I'm the only candidate in this election who has ever supervised officers in the field. I'm a 7-year sergeant with the Fort Worth Police Department. I've supervised in patrol. I have been the public information officer for the Fort Worth Police Department. I actually formed and supervised the first mental health crisis intervention team for the Fort Worth Police Department. And most currently, I was chosen by command staff to be the first supervisor over the Fort Worth Police Department Aviation Unit. I have 24 years of law enforcement. What we do in law enforcement and other industries is we look at our experience, and that forms how we are going to be a leader, how we lead. Let me talk about leadership. I believe that I have already demonstrated how I will lead as the next Parker County Sheriff. Let me give you an example. Back in April, on April 14th, a deputy went out to arrest someone. That person resisted, removed the weapon from that deputy's holster, and fired at that deputy, narrowly missing him. No charges were filed against that person. I can't tell you why. All I know is I was informed about it. I went to the district attorney. I told the district attorney about it. He inquired about the incident, contacted the sheriff. They finally did an investigation, and I'm happy to tell you that in November, 8 months later, we finally received 2 felony indictments from a Parker County grand jury. Folks, we've had 346 law enforcement officers shot in the year 2021. We almost had 347. We have a saying in law enforcement: I have your 6. It means I have your back. To the men and women of the Parker County Sheriff's Office, I will always have your 6. We cannot tolerate the assault on our law enforcement officers in Parker County. I don't believe anybody sitting in this audience would accept that. Let's talk about a vision. My vision is to introduce intelligence-led policing. Intelligence-led policing uses computer systems that actually give us heat maps where we can see where crime is being committed, and we can actually tell in advance where criminal acts can take place. It will actually lower response times. We are not doing that right now. We have to give our commanders in the field the ability to look at real-time crime statistics so we can put our limited resources where they need to be, when they need to be there. I will be a working sheriff. This is not a retirement job for me. I will be in uniform with a badge and a gun out in the field answering calls for service. Command staff will be out in the field answering calls for service. We have to lower our 12-minute, 24-second 911 response times. I'm a conservative Christian Republican. I ask for your vote for positive change at the Sheriff's Office. Thank you.